What's up guys, it's Tempo here, and today I'm going to give you my complete Marvel Rivals tier list updated for season 1.5. I will give you all the heroes currently released and rank them on a scale from S tier to D tier. S tier being the best, and D tier being the absolute worst. And of course, I'll give you the reason why I believe they should be in that tier. Now one thing to note is all these are completely and 100% my opinion. You can feel free to tell me how I am completely wrong in the comments. Now, without further ado, let's get started. All right, starting off, Warlock is a solid pick. He is very versatile and makes a great addition to any team. His ultimate is really strong and he can do some solid DPS if you know what you're doing. I'm going to give him A tier because he's not quite at the level of S tier, but he's a solid A tier character. All right, on to Black Panther. He's all right. I think he's a great dive, but he's just not all that good in competitive play. And I think you have better options when you're going a dive character. So because of that, I'm going to put him at B tier. All right, I might get some haters for this, but Black Widow, D tier. To all the Widow mains crying in the comments right now, I'm sorry, but you have to wake up. She's not good. Either play Hela or play Hawkeye. Both are better options for you. Captain America is an all right pick. He's not very valuable in competitive, I would say. I mean, I would much rather have a Magneto or a Doctor Strange on my team. So I'm going to have to put him at B tier as well. He's okay, but he could be a lot better. Now, Cloak and Dagger before her nerf, S tier. Now that she's been nerfed a little bit, I'll just take her down to A tier. She's still really good. Her ultimate just doesn't last as long, and it's not as good, so A tier. All right, I think Strange is going to have to be our first S tier. He has great damage, a great shield, a great ultimate ability. He's just a great hero all around. The only nerf he got was 50 HP, but honestly, it doesn't really matter that much. So yeah, S tier. Moving on. Now, a solid Groot in the right hands can be absolutely devastating. I'm not that guy, but I've seen people absolutely carry with Groot. That being said, though, I don't think he's all that good. He's between an A and a B tier. I think I'm going to put him at A for now, but I might revise that later when more heroes start getting up there. Hawkeye is kind of a weird one. If you land all your shots, he can be crazy good, but chances are you're not landing all of your shots. I'm going to give him a B tier. You can definitely play him. Just be sure you're landing those headshots and you'll be fine. Hela is an A tier hero. She does some crazy damage, especially if you land those headshots. She's great at taking down Iron Man and Storm. She's not quite S tier level, but she's pretty close, so I'll put her at A. I'm going to give Hulk a B tier. He gets banned in a lot of games, so he's not really worth playing in my opinion. His biggest strength is his team up with Strange and Iron Man, which is crazy good, but just going off his hero, he's just all right. Solid B tier. Iron Fist is going in C. I would rather a Psylocke or a Panther over an Iron Fist. Don't get me wrong. Iron Fist can be really annoying, especially for healers, if your team doesn't deal with them. But the thing is, most ranked games, your team will be just fine dealing with them. So yeah, C tier. Iron Man is going to go A tier. He's really good, but if you get a crazy hit scan on the other team, it's super easy to counter you. You know what? I think I'm going to change to B tier just because of how easy it is to counter him. Yeah, I'm going B tier. Final answer. Jeff isn't the worst, but you can just do better, so I'm going to put him in C tier. The thing with Jeff is there's just better alternatives. Cloak and Dagger as well as Luna Snow. I mean, just blow Jeff out of the water in comparison. Jeff's ult can land you some easy kills, but most teams see it coming nowadays, and they just don't group up when he has his ult. Yeah, I'm comfortable putting him at C tier. Okay, now Loki is really good in the right hands. However, he can also be really bad if you don't use his clones and his abilities in the right way. Because of this, I think I'm going to put him at B tier. You know, I'll put him at the top of B tier. You can absolutely use Loki really effectively with a lot of practice, but it does take time. Especially with his ultimate requiring a decent knowledge of every character in the game, it can take quite a while to get there. Maybe in later seasons when the game isn't so new, I can move him up a little bit, but for now, he's going in B tier. Luna Snow, S tier. No doubt about it. Her ultimate ability essentially makes your teammates within the range unkillable. It lasts quite a bit considering how good it is. Her healing is top tier as well, being just slightly below Invisible Woman. Also, the cherry on top, her team up with Namor is absolutely game-changing. It's pretty much required when playing Namor. It just makes him so much better. Absolute S tier character for Luna. Magik is one of the hardest heroes to hit in the game. I find many times when I'm fighting her, that I get that little shield when I hit them, meaning that I didn't do any damage. You can absolutely be a menace if you're using her right. The opposing team will literally hate you. I'm honestly surprised that I don't see her banned just based off how annoying she is, but she isn't banned very often. So I'm going to give her A tier. She's pretty good. For Magneto, I'm going A tier. Some might put him at S tier. Here's the thing. I'm not putting him up there because I would rather a Strange in almost every single situation. Strange does more damage. He has a better shield. The only thing you're really missing out on is Magneto's bubble, which the bubble has kind of a long cooldown anyway. So you're not missing out on much. So yeah, that's the reason I'm not putting him at S tier. Strange is just better. Moving on. Mantis is going in A tier. Her damage boost is great. Her healing isn't very good, so don't try to heal a lot with her. Mainly for her damage and her damage boost. She works as a great off healer or third healer just because she doesn't have that healing output. Yeah, A tier. Mainly for her damage and her damage boost. Okay, now before his ultimate got nerfed, S tier. After his ultimate got nerfed, B tier. I don't really think I need to explain that more. He's just alright. Alright, now Namor is one of my favorite characters to play. His damage is absolutely crazy. If you get 2 or 3 squids firing on a support, you can just watch their health disappear. Meanwhile, you can still throw your primary at them and get a headshot and absolutely annihilate them. Not to mention, one of your abilities literally puts you in a bubble and negates all damage. Yeah, Namor's going S tier. Penny's another one of my favorites to play. She's a great tank to have on your team. I don't quite want to put her at S tier, so I'll put her at A tier. She's really close to S, but I just don't want to put her there. Maybe I'll put her at the top of A right here. That's good, because she's really close to S, but she's just not quite there, so I'll put her there. Psylocke has A tier damage, A tier invisibility, A tier ultimate. She's an A tier dive character. Psylocke is just an A tier, all around. It's as simple as that. Now, Rocket is a little tricky. Without his BRB and his ult, he's for sure a C tier. But those two things bring him to, I think they bring him to an A tier. Negating a pick in a fight is so useful. I feel like it's underappreciated. His healing is nothing to write home about, but based on how easy it is to heal your teammates, you barely even have to aim. It's kind of nice, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, A tier. Now don't get me wrong. I have been absolutely carried by some witches in some games. But as a hero, I just don't think she's that good. I'm putting her at B tier. Middle of the pack. Nothing more I can say there. Now, I might get some hate for this one, but Spider-Man's going B tier. Maybe he goes to the top of B tier, but he's still B tier. My reasoning being, I just don't think he's as good as Hela or Psylocke or even Magik. I just think he got better options to choose from. Squirrel Girl's going B tier. She's right in the middle of the pack. She has decent damage, decent everything else, but she's just nothing to write home about. Not very many games am I going, oh man, I wish I had a Squirrel Girl. Solid B tier hero. All right, now for Star-Lord, I'm going A tier. Solid character. Solid movement abilities. Solid damage. His ultimate is actually insane. If they don't have a shield or anything, their backline is just done. Like, it's over. So yeah, A tier for Star-Lord. Now here's the thing with Storm. If we're talking quick play, or if you are the rank below Diamond 3, she's a S tier, for sure. However, if you're playing ranked and you're a Diamond 3 and above, she's like a C tier. Because 50% of the time, you can't even play her because she's banned. She just gets banned so often that it's almost not even worth it. So because of that, I'll put her at A tier. But just know she'll be banned most of the time above the rank of Diamond. So, you know, if you're below the rank of Diamond, she's great. But if you're above, you might not play her. Now, the Punisher is the most well-rounded DPS in the game, in my opinion. He's got long range cover with his rifle, close range cover with his shotgun. He's got that zip line, which makes his movement great. I'm putting him at A tier. He's not quite S tier, but he's definitely a solid A tier. Thor is an amazing off tank. His ability to misplace front lines, I feel, goes underrated. Also, his ability to absolutely annihilate squishies with his rune is actually crazy. I'm going A tier for Thor. Solid tank pick. Venom is another one of my favorites. In the right hands, he can literally keep the healers distracted for the entire game. But in higher ranks, I find him less useful. I feel that higher ranked players just know how to deal with him better and, you know, group up, actually attack the Venom instead of just letting them do whatever they want to do. So I'm going to put him at B tier. You know what? Maybe I'll put him at top of B tier because he is pretty good. I'd say he's better than Captain America and Hulk in my opinion. All right, I've literally seen Winter Soldier kill an entire team with his ultimate. His damage is great. His range is actually really good. If you can learn his projectile speed, you can actually hit like Iron Man's and stuff, believe it or not. Also, his hook is absolutely incredible. He's going S tier. Okay, now Wolverine is kind of in the same boat as Storm. If you're in quick play or below the rank of Diamond 3, S tier. If you're above the rank of Diamond, D tier. He is banned in literally 90% of the games. Like, it's not even worth it. So I think I'm going to average it out. I'm going to put him at B tier. He's all right if you can play him. But if you're above Diamond, you can just forget about it. Mr. Fantastic, besides Black Widow, is probably the worst DPS. I'm putting him at C tier. He isn't utterly useless like Black Widow, but he's pretty close. So that's my reasoning. C tier. Invisible Woman is the best overall hero in my opinion. She has the best healer ultimate, best healing. She has decent damage too, believe it or not. Plus, oh, right, she can go invisible. Yeah, she's going S tier. I was so hyped for Human Torch when he was announced. Like, just being on fire is kind of cool. But they significantly let me down. He's going B tier. His AoE damage just isn't high enough. I feel like it should do a little bit more damage. Yeah, just not very high damage for a DPS hero. All right, last but not least, The Thing. The Thing is going A tier. He's definitely a solid pick. However, I think because he's new, people are giving him a little bit too much hype. People are saying he's the best hero in the game. I don't think so. I think you're way better off with a Strange or even Magneto. His survivability's all right. He's pretty good. I'm comfortable giving him an A tier. All right, guys, that's it for my tier list. I've never done one of these videos before, so let me know if it's something you'd want to see. Maybe I can do a new one when Season 2 drops. If you enjoy the Marvel Rivals content and you want to see more, feel free to subscribe to my channel because I'm trying to do more consistent videos. Believe it or not, your guys' support really helps me with staying consistent with the channel. Also, feel free to leave a like if you enjoy it. It helps the video reach more people. It helps me stay happy. And yeah, that's it for me, y'all. Peace out.